Today, I'm sitting down with the man, the myth, the legend, Gareth Philpott, who is the founder of the Hair and Barber Academy, Crispy Club, the Educator Academy. The academies have been running for about 10 years now, which is fucking incredible. But you just do all the things.
Basically, I had the dream of being a professional athlete, which, as I'm sitting here now not talking about my sporting career, that did not go too well. I'd gone from teaching fitness to then leadership management. Then I was leading a team. Within the first 3 months, I had to make 200 people redundant. I was 24. I had people who were pregnant. I had people who had cancer. I had to make redundant. And I was like, fuck, if this is what management is, I do not want to do this. The accountant, he goes, you want the good news or the bad news? And I was like, here we fucking go. I was like, give me the good news. And he goes, good news is I reckon we can close everything down and you won't be liable for everything. He was like, bad news is you got about $400,000 in debt.
This podcast is being recorded on Gubby Gubby land. We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this land, our country, and elders past and present. I am Cait Muir, and thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Tell Me About It podcast. I'm so excited to have some boy energy in here because honestly, it's been like a stream of girls for the last few months. But today I'm sitting down with the man, the myth, the legend, Gareth Philpott. And if you don't know this man yet, strap in because he's one of those humans that you like quietly build empires, but somehow stay like one of the most humble people ever and one of the most down-to-earth people ever. So we're with Gareth, who is the founder of the Hair and Barber Academy, Crispy Club, the Educator Academy. The academies have been running for about 10 years now, which is like fucking incredible. But you just do all the things.
I do all the things, yeah. I'm pulling my hair out and going grey, I reckon. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. And I want to, I guess, start somewhere a little bit different today, which is you have built 3 businesses in an industry that most people fall into because they wanted to do hair, but that wasn't actually your story. That wasn't how you came to be.
Correct. Yeah. So basically my mum's been a hairdresser since the age of 17, I believe, and she's 65 this year. So if anybody can slag off the industry, it's my mum, right? But
that's nearly 50 years. What a legend.
I know. It's actually crazy thinking about it. And when she listens back to this, she's going to absolutely rinse me for saying how old she was. But yeah, so she was very adamant that I was not to go into the hair industry. So mum's been educating for about 30 of those years. So yeah, she made it very adamant that I was not to go into hair. I think she was a bit worried about the party lifestyle, which I can now agree with as to why she's worried about it.
Yeah, we all look back on that, I think. We're all like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense now as to why she thought it would be bad news for me, to be honest. So yeah, I had the dream of being a professional athlete, which, as I'm sitting here now not talking about my sporting career, that did not go too well. But yeah, I basically, my life was sport. It was just like, that's all I wanted to do. I think that the very thing I had to fall back on, I always just thought I'd get like a coaching job or something like that, to be honest. I was always kind of the captain. I seemed to be good at many sports, but not a master at any, to be honest.
I was going to say, what was the actual sport that you wanted? Like, what was just anything? Just to be a sports person.
Soccer. I just wanted to. Soccer was
so
always
British of you.
I know. So that was it. Like, that was my life. So it's and it still is, to be honest. I love it, and I still kind of think maybe there is a flicker of hope there at the age of 36. You know. So no, it's kind of leaded into what I've done with hair anyway. But I'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I basically moved to Australia at the age of 16. And was just like, well, my sporting career is over, so I'll just go into the police like everybody does back home, basically. My mum was adamant that I was going to be a police officer. I don't know why, but she was adamant I'd go into the police. I know. It's just like, she was just so, you have to go into the police. So like, my dad worked in the steelworks from the age of 16 and he retired at 60 in the steelworks. So they're 2 very completely different people. They're both my best mates. So it was kind of funny. I was getting advice. My dad's like, stay in one job for the rest of your life. Like, don't you dare like try it. Whereas my mum wouldn't stay on a job for 12 months because she'd be headhunted somewhere. It was like, or she'd be like, oh, we could do this, we could do that. So it's, yeah.
Sounds like me, Cam, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just like, shiny objects, do this, do that, much 100%. Like you. And then he's just like stable, consistent, could stay in the same thing for his whole life.
It's so funny, honestly, because it's like, growing up with the both of them like that, it was so that, well, I know why they got divorced. Let's just say that, right? That's mates. But it was, it's just funny how relationships like that, it was never going to work, to be honest. I didn't even know why they got together, but there we go. 36 years later, I'm here. It was basically getting into hair was 2015/16. So we'd opened up. Yeah.
Really late. Shit.
Yeah. So it was, I mean,
Or were you 20? Because we're the same age. So what were you being, 25 then?
Yeah, I was 25.
Yeah, shit.
Which was quite funny because, again, my mum was adamant for me not to go into hair, but she actually fell sick. So she got double pneumonia. So my mum's fine now, right? I always tell this story and people are kind of like, oh, are you going to be like... So she made a full recovery. Another reason why my hair's fallen out and I'm going great. But she, at the age of 25, decided to get double pneumonia and basically was a mess. She went into hospital. She didn't even know who I was. I was actually going to send you a photo of her in hospital, but she would kill me, right? She would literally kill me if that got out. But the doctors had basically told us to like, she's not recovering, so kind of come in there. And yeah, so like I'm a massive mummy's boy, right? Like I've got it tattooed on me. So I've got like mom's boy tattooed on me. So that broke me, right? I was a mess. I was an absolute mess. So me and my wife, Lani, had only just started kind of like dating not long after that as well. So she's been through everything, which was hilarious. But yeah, to take my mind off my mum being sick, I started cutting hair. So I was absolutely butchering
her fault,
people.
Basically.
So basically it is her fault. It's a full circle as they with her fault. But yeah, I was just like, you know what? She was in hospital. The girls in the academy, we kind of had like a hairdressing salon and a hair academy at the time. I was working full time somewhere else. I wasn't even in the academies. Mum was just running it. And I thought we were absolutely dripping in money. I was like, I don't even need to be in this. I was like, this is amazing. I've got a college. So we'd worked for RTOs. I've been in RTOs now for 14 years, I think it is. So the previous 4 years to that, geez, I'm going down. If I go down a rabbit hole.
I love it. Right, no. This is great. I don't even have to ask the questions. You just go there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just rambling. I know. My coffee's kicked in, yeah. So we'd been working for other RTOs. That's where I kind of wanted to follow mum and be like an educator and a trainer. I love that side of it. Like I loved that in sport. I loved kind of being a coach and stuff like that. So educating to me was like something which I thought, my mum's an amazing educator. Like she's unbelievable.
I see some of your videos.
Yeah, she is so, like, she doesn't think she's cool anymore and stuff like this, but she is cool. So she's sensational, right? So my thing was, well, if I'll just piggytail off her, to be honest, then piggyback off her and just be like, cool, whatever she goes, I'll just try and follow her. So she got me my first job in education, which was teaching fitness. So it was kind of like a sets the both worlds.
What were you in? Because obviously you've been in hairdressing for what's that, 11 years now.
Yeah.
But what were you doing in TAFEs before that?
Yeah. So I worked for, I've had more jobs than Seek, right? Just so you know, like I have seriously, it's crazy. I was like, I've been a ski instructor. I've worked at Bilo Fruit and Veg. I'm like, my range of skills, I am the man to hire, right? So yeah, I was just about to go into the police at the age of 20, I think it was 20. I got approved for everything in there. They wanted me to go to Gladstone or something like that, I think it was. And I was like, I was having second thoughts here. I'm like, hang on, is this for me? So
Lads, have you always been in the Goldie since you moved here?
yeah, since I've been here, right?
Lads,
So
you would have been like,
I know. So they said, oh, it's a little bit of a change, but you're going to do 3 years there and whatnot. I'm like, little bit of a change. Looking back, I've taught in Gladstone.
A year you could suffer through, I reckon. It's not my type of environment. Like the sunny coast is small enough for me and it's got 350,000 people here. Like you could go and suffer through a year in a place like that, but 3 years?
I know, right? So I was like, that was putting me off. Then I found out you have to do 14 days straight. That could be nights included, and it's 55,000 a year. And I was like, hang on, they're not really selling the dream here, to be honest. So
the shit you got put up with as a police officer too. Like it's
seriously.
not exactly like you've got to be. I've got one of my best friends from Geelong is a police officer. She's fucking awesome, but she's got the personality for it. And like, I reckon if you're too friendly,
I'd be fucking terrible at it.
I don't think you'd be a cunt enough. Like,
no, I'd be so
okay.
bad. I'd just be like, oh, that's all right. Don't worry about it. I was like, and then I'd go back and see like
things rather than arrest them.
I'd be like, I'm pretty sure he just killed somebody, but he did say he didn't try to, so it should be fine. So yeah, we basically at the age of 19, one of my mates knew the owner of Body Science, a nutrition company, and was kind of like Greg, who owns Body Science, who's now my business coach, which is hilarious because it's like full circle as well. I'm sure Greg won't mind me saying he made me work my ass off. Like
good.
For fuck all as well, right?
Good.
Fuck all. I was looking back on my paychecks and I was like, this prick was paying me minimum wage. I'm like, so whenever we go for coffee now, he goes, oh, I'm pretty sure I should be buying. And I'm like, you fucking right, you should be buying. And I was like, so basically, Body Science, obviously a huge company, global company. And I was working in their Queensland shop. So they only had one shop as a company and I was basically put in charge of it. So it was his dad who had it, and his dad was just like, this kid seems all right, he can run it now. And I was there for 2 weeks and then got a full-time job with them, right? So the police dream was over and I was kind of like, yeah, no, thank goodness. So I got this job in Body Science, which I absolutely loved. I worked there for 3 years. I was dealing with sporting teams, giving them obviously nutrition advice and whatnot. I loved it. It was so good. And especially working in a company like that and being I wouldn't say alongside Greg, but Greg was looking after me. Just learning from somebody like that, I was like, this is cool. I want to kind of venture into more stuff with business and whatnot.
Since you're such a failed sports person, I guess
Seriously.
the proximity to them was probably really awesome for you too.
100%.
Like I still get to be with the boys and like still be in that environment, and that's cool.
Exactly. And I think they kind of liked it, right? Because I wasn't so much like starstruck or anything, because I was just like, I just thought it was cool. You know what I mean? I thought I was just back home.
Obviously a sports person too, clearly, guys.
Yeah. And I'm like, I could basically play instead of you, but I don't want to because I've got a job here at the moment. Yeah, I'll fill in when you're short. So basically, went from there, did 3 years there, absolutely loved it. And then mum phoned me one day and was like, hey, there's a trainer job going in our academy as a fitness trainer, right? It's only, I think it was 1 day a week. Just ask Body Science if you can kind of do it, right? So Greg was like, 100% do it. I know you want to do something like that. So I went in there, I taught a Cert 2 in sports and rec. And I think the first session was a surfing lesson. So we went down the beach all day. I got paid a lot of money to just go down and watch these guys surf. And I was like, this is fucking amazing. I was like, why haven't I done education before? This is great. Education's easy. So they obviously liked me. And then I think they realized that I was obviously mum's son. And they were like, oh, hang on. She is more than likely going to leave. So we need to kind of butter her up by giving him a full-time job and whatnot, right? So they just went, you've got full-time work. So I had to do my TAE, which will make people sick.
My husband has been in TAFE for the last 4 years until this year as well. And same thing. He's like, what a fucking boring piece of paper that is.
100%, right? So later on in my journey, I taught that.
Wow.
I know, right? So I was like, Jesus Christ. So
I think Cam's least favorite thing to teach was first aid. He's like, it's just horrific. But then, he was doing all the other things as well. He's like, it's just so fucking boring. Like, it's so boring.
It's terrible. Like, once you've got the qualification, it's a great qualification to have, right? But it was, yeah, at the time they were giving them out like Weet-Bix. They were like literally out of a Weet-Bix box. It was crazy. I did mine over 2 weekends, right? Which will piss people off because people have done it over 2 years. But I just sat down and was like, blitz through it. They were just giving them out to everyone.
Hyperfixation anyway, get that shit done.
Exactly, right? So I was like, boom, I had it. They offered me a job. I remember it was 55,000. And I still remember, right? And I still remember I was like, I am fucking loaded. I remember going home and I was like, Mom, this is it. I'll pay off the mortgage. What you got left? I was like, I'm fucking loaded here. Because I'd gone from 22,000 to 55,000. I was like, this is the best. I know, which is bonkers, right?
My first apprenticeship was $13,900 a year, my first year. And then I remember I used to take home $254 a week. And my rent was like 80, I think, back then.
Yeah.
And like, that was so much money back then. And then, you know, I remember going to the petrol station, you had to like stop at 20 because you couldn't afford more than $20.
Those are the best days. Those are the best days. Look at it now. Oh,
I know.
It's
fucking cracks me up. But I love to feel like you've had almost, what's that, like 150% pay increase from 22 to 55. So you're just like, woo woo.
I was like, this is the best thing ever. I went out, bought a brand new car. I was like, I was still living with his mum at the time as well. And I'm like, this is the best. I was like, I moved out. I was like, right, I can move out now. I'm a grown man. I can move out. So yeah, it was great. It's funny because now when I look back and now when I'm dealing with money and stuff, I'm kind of like, it's hard for me to deal with people who are going like, oh, I want a pay rise and stuff like this. And I'm there thinking in my head, I was like, I'm doing more than what you did. Like back then I was doing a lot more as a trainer and assessor. I think teaching back then was, you had to do everything basically. The powers above did zilch. They were just like, and I still remember my first week, they wanted to teach Cert 3, Cert 4 and Diploma of Fitness. And they were like, hey, we've got 20 students starting in 2 weeks' time. Just so you know, there's no resources, there's no assessments, nothing, like all the best kind of thing. And I remember
just push you off the fence.
Seriously, I remember phoning Mum going like, hey, they've told me there's no assessments and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, you know what you did in your TAE with the writing assessments? You have to do all of that now. So I learned the hard way, don't get me wrong.
Gym days and actually show you they know what they're talking about and
exactly
everything.
Right. So it went from, it was madness. It was absolute madness. To come into it like that, like it was such an eye opener. But I am so thankful I did it like that and not the easy way of doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel exactly the same. And, you know, it's really funny. A conversation I was having with one of my clients this week, we were talking about like, we were creating a budget for her and like trying to work this out. And I was like, you know, people want more money, but they can't even manage the money that they have. And like, don't get me wrong, like I've been in plenty of sticky situations before. Obviously, I talk very freely about that sort of stuff too. But it's like, if you can't literally manage the $70,000 wage you've got now, and then all of a sudden you're going to add 10 grand to that or 20 grand to that, or you're going to get more of it, you also can't manage that either.
Exactly.
75% of people who win the lottery go broke because they all of a sudden don't know what to do. And I don't know, I just feel like learn to live with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd blow it all, by the way, just so you know.
I feel like I was a better budgeter when I earned 30 grand a year.
And that's exactly right. Like that is literally what I tell people.
It's important what I just said.
You know, it's crazy, right? Because you know, obviously, you know more than anyone as business, and people are like, oh, what should I pay myself and stuff like this. I tell them all the time, I was like, pay yourself minimum wage. I was like, literally, because you'll work your fucking ass off. And then when you take out those little bonuses and stuff, it's so much more like rewarding. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like what you said, they'll blow what comes in a week. They'll just go like, oh, I could do this or I could do that, instead of being like, hey, if we hit this target, we get this. It's like, it makes a huge difference.
We take a draw, like we have like we take a draw now at the end of every quarter, whatever. If we're just like, woo, we just take a little bit over. And also once my income tax is paid, then I'm like, cool, whatever's there, then that's mine. And then I start again. And like, it's like actually so nice to do it that way, because it's like, woo, we got a bit of money, we can go do something. That's why we went to the Maldives, like, you know, things like
100%.
that. So it's so fucking good. But I love that you recommend kind of going off minimum wage too. I'm sort of the same way. I always say to my clients, I'm like, what can you live off though? Like, what can you
Exactly.
live off? If that's $1,000 a week, let's start there. Like, at this point, we need to be reinvesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Some people
And that's been
do
one
it.
of the biggest things in the company. Like, honestly, like I've always made sure that mum got paid because obviously she's my business partner and stuff like that. But I'm so lucky to have Lani as my partner who has put up with me. Like, seriously, well,
I think we're also married to the same person.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Like, Cam is like consistent, stable. He's happy being at home. He's like, go do whatever you want. Like, if you need to work, like anything. And I think if I had two of me, I would die.
Yeah, I'm literally the same.
I'd be bored to death. Like,
Yeah.
love him so much.
You'd be all right with two of him, surely. The guy's a 10.
He is. I love it so much. But funny now, like obviously I see you posting all the time. You fly about as much as I do, which we love to see. But you have like proximity to sports people all the time now. You're always with like AFL teams, rugby teams. Like, tell me about that because again, I guess it's that proximity to sports people. Just feeling like you're one of them. Yes.
No, 100%. Like that is the best part of my job. Like easily the best part and the most rewarding part. So the way I got into that was like pure luck. Pure luck is the way I got into that, right? So I had a barber shop that I was working with and the owner was a player manager. So
yeah, cool. That's random.
It is honestly so random, right?
He wasn't actually a barber?
So he was a barber as well as a shop owner.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. So he kind of said to me, he goes, hey, have you ever thought about doing the NRL clubs? And I was like, no. And he goes, oh, they have education allowance. He said, I've got a player in Sydney. Would you go and teach him? And I was like, didn't even think of any financials around this, obviously. I was like, yeah, I'll go and do it. So I went there, met them at the club, and Leon was his name. He was a cracking kid. And basically, I walked in there with a full barber kit, and then all of the lads were like, what's he doing? And then they were all like,
important and like, you know what you're talking
about. So they were like, oh, he's doing the barber course. So our room was set up literally in the front of their training center. So every single person that walked past was just like, what's that? What's that? So we ended up with 6 players doing the full-time course there. And it got word of mouth into the NRL. Beck Cook, who's head of League Ahead, who's like their player liaison kind of person for the whole of the NRL, she owns an RTO as well. And she was like, hey, you need to do this for all of the clubs. And I was like, I'd love to. So she goes, right, there's the email list, all the best, send it out. And we've done every single NRL club now apart from the Warriors. And well, hopefully we'll do Melbourne Storm this year. So it's just been wild. So they get a government grant. Well, not a government grant. They get funding through their clubs. So we've just
is that to give them
that
once they retire from sports? Like, is that because a lot of them have kind of gone into sports, they don't really have anything else to go with?
Exactly, because they're so committed to sports at the time. It's like, and do you know the thing which is so fucked up about this? It's like, so I think last year, for example, I think we did the most players in the NRL out of all of like RTOs and stuff like this. Yeah, I know, it's cool. It's cool when they say stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. So I think we've done over like 150 players now, which is pretty cool. But it's awesome. But it's also like hearing their stories on RTOs as well, like not hair and barber ones, but just RTOs in general. And it's like there's zero flexibility. And don't get me wrong, I know flexibility fucks the business, right? It does it with ours. Like if we weren't so flexible, we wouldn't. And that's why people like us. It's because we're flexible, but it's a terrible business kind of model, you know what I mean? But we cop it.
I mean, like, obviously, like, I'm strong on boundaries and things like that too. But in the same way, I work business to business. I work with business people. If they need to call me at 10 p.m., just call me. I don't fucking care. Like, you know, 100%. Like you have to have somewhat of like leniency for certain things. And I think that's a really important thing to do too, because you're like, well, they're obviously so committed. They have so much of their sports commitments. You're kind of the add-on to that. You kind of have to move around them a little bit.
100%. And they're so respectful, right? They're fucking unreal to teach because like what I tell everyone, because everybody goes, oh, footy boys, they'd be fucking wankers. And I'm like, it's actually the opposite because they're being taught set plays and stuff every single day. When you go in there and teach them, like that. They pick it up straight away. They're like, yep, bump, 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 bump. Whereas we're teaching people at the moment, for example, who may not have learned anything in the last 10 years. Yeah, 100%, right? Yeah. Creatives. I know. To put it as a nice term.
I love to hate them.
Yes, exactly. Oh, geez, creatives. Yeah.
That is so fucking funny. So the Hair and Barber Academy is with your mum, and they came first?
Yes, so we had the Hair Academy came first. So that used to be called the Lyceum Institute in 2015.
Wow.
So that's when that started.
Not you.
No, I know, right? So hence why I wasn't in the business then, right? So I was like a silent partner. And I wanted it to be that way because I thought Mum was on the road to retirement early. I thought brilliant. And all of that jazz. We had a couple of trainers. It was great. We were only doing hairdressing. We also had childcare as well, which we still have.
That's hang on, stop with that for a second. Yeah. That's like so fucking cool. So people can come in and study and drop their kids off.
No, not that much. We actually had a childcare course. Yeah. Oh, jeez, that's definitely not a good idea. That comes back right off.
Maybe you could get the students to take care of the kids.
Holy shit, could you imagine? I was
okay, so you've got childcare as well. Weird.
Yeah, so we've got childcare on scope. Obviously, I don't really brag about that one because I have no fucking idea about childcare.
I reckon childcare work would be I reckon that would be up there with the hardest work. I don't think 100%. Anyone fucking says, I would rather do bricklaying.
Yep.
Honestly, we love our nephews so much. We spend like 4 hours with them and I'm fucked. I'm so tired.
It's the best thing, right? To just go, there you go, all the best. Thank you. Cheers.
I don't think they get paid well enough. I don't think they get enough respect for what they do. I think that would be one of the hardest fucking jobs on the planet.
Oh, absolutely. I say it all the time. And it's so hard speaking to the students because obviously they know. It's just that they kind of did a course in school or whatever. They're stuck in there and they're just like, there's no other option. So, but yeah, we've had childcare for the last 10 years as well, which is hilarious. The Barber Academy started in 2017, I think it was. So 2017, we started that. That's when Mum got sick. So
was that also, sorry to cut you off there, was that also kind of the time where the hairdressing and barbering apprenticeships became separated though? Because that was when I opened my barbershop. I started building it late 2017 because I had staff that wanted to transition into barbering rather than doing hairdressing. So that makes...
It was actually the perfect time, right? It was so funny because obviously, as I said, I was not involved in the business at all, right? Like I wouldn't even know what the numbers were, nothing. I was so oblivious to it. I was working for an RTO. I'd then gone from teaching fitness to then leadership management. Then I was leading a team. So I had at the time, I think I had about 500 trainers I was looking after. So I'd kind of just... Again, probably the work ethic, which I got from...
You also didn't have time to be involved in it by the sounds.
No, literally.
Trainers.
Literally.
Holy.
I know. So I was working for a huge RTO, who's Australia and New Zealand wide. They had basically shitloads of funding. I mean, they were doing trillions. So that was when the good days of RTOs, which were just they were just giving money out left, right and center. So yeah, I kind of learned the hard way there. I moved to the Sunshine Coast for 9 months there to teach as well. Yeah, so I lived in Markula.
That's a nice little spot there, nice little pocket, all the little beach shacks.
So I had a 3-level house there, living on my own, and then my mate moved in, and I thought I was the shit. I was in a lot of money, driving a Range Rover. Still had the accent. Still had the accent. I was fit. I was playing football. So yeah, it was good times. The house times have changed. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. But then this position came up for the to kind of look after all of the trainers and stuff. So this RTO ended up basically the last 12 months of the RTO funding kind of started to get cut and whatnot because the government was kind of like, hang on, these people are making absolutely trillions here and they're getting free laptops and nobody's kind of getting any progression. So my kind of lead into management, I suppose it was that role. And yeah, within the first 3 months, I had to make 200 people redundant. Oh. So I was 24. I had people who were pregnant. I had people who had cancer. make redundant. So I really, I took the whole management thing really hard, to be honest. And I was like, fuck, if this is what management is, I do not want to do this. So it kind of sucked.
Redundancies.
Yeah. So it was basically, it got to the point, right? So we had this huge kind of like warehouse in Eagleby, I suppose. Warehouse is what I'd call it, where we'd have hot desks and whatnot. And this guy would come around and just tap him on the shoulder. I'd have to watch him do it. And then I'd just go, hey, whoever got tapped on the shoulder, come out the front. And I just have to go, yeah, sorry, all the best. So yeah, I had no HR with me.
In fairness, probably doing it all in one fell swoop was probably a bit easier than having individual conversations.
100%. And that was the thing. What then happened was to get from that 200 or 300, which was left over, we had to get that down to like 50. So then it was like, right, it's on you now to pick which one. So this is fucking madness, right? Thinking back. But we used to have obviously ridiculous KPIs. And it would be the end of the week. If you didn't hit it, they'd just be like, all the best. And I just have to tap somebody on the back and do a redundancy, right? So yeah, it was
50 though is like huge. So you kind of have to be like super tough on it, as bad as it is. It's a shame they weren't measuring them on like who were the better people, or, you know, like in terms of like who they were as people, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just completely KPI driven, TAFE system.
Even their KPIs, right? Even their KPIs, which is fucking madness thinking about. It wasn't even like cool for the year. It was like that week. So if you had a shit week with students, you were like, I'm gone. So they were, and everyone knew. It would be like, you'd have people calling in sick and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, they're calling in sick because they know.
No, you'd be like, no, you're like, no, you're coming in.
Yeah, no, you have to be in today. Yeah, you have to be here. So there's, I know my mother always says it, but she's like, there was a point in your life where I think you just turned to like angry, and that did make me really angry. Like I'll be honest, I have massive anger issues. Hence why I try not to play golf too much, because I smash all my clubs. But I think that to me was like, I really felt like that wasn't fair on me. Like, and I think at the age of 24, having to do that to people, and a lot of them took that personally towards me, as in I made that decision, and that was fucked. And that to learn that kind of way, I was so then like, I don't know if ruthless is the right term, but I just didn't trust anyone. So it was so hard for me to then kind of...
Yeah. I mean, I relate. I'm reactive as fuck. Like, obviously, like I've got ADHD, so it can be crazy sometimes, but, you know, it's pretty well managed now. Also, I'm not a cunt, but, you know, like I know that in myself as well, that I can be like that too. So like, what are your methods for staying not angry? I'd be interested.
Jesus Christ.
This was not in the questions, but now I'm keen to know. This was not in the questions.
Breathe. No, I think, I'll be honest, my emotional support dog, Spud, he's probably my biggest one. Like, seriously. So when this is so bad, and I really hope Mum doesn't listen to this, but when we have, like, me and Mum argue a lot, right? And I'm trying to work on it because it's just ruined our relationship. She's not fiery. It's just more she thinks she's trying to help. I'm thinking I'm trying to help. And then it's just like this, button heads all the time, right? So for us to have a meeting, I have to have Spud with me, right? So it's like, so I don't then go over the top. Yeah, seriously, right? It's like Austin Powers, you know, and he's like stroking the cat. That's me with Spud. So it's a big one. I struggle with it massively, and I tell people that because I bottle it up. I suppose instead of going like, when something does go wrong, for me to address it properly and be like, hey, we need to do X, Y, and Z. I will then just exactly like what you said at the start. I'll go, yeah, that's all good. No problem. We'll fix it. And then I go home and go, what the fuck? And then I'm like, what the fuck just happened there? So that's probably the biggest thing which I'm trying to work on at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would see it, to be honest, apart from my close circle, which is, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've wanted to just communicate now. And I think something that really frustrates me is when people don't communicate back. Like, I'll go straight to the source and I'll go straight to the person and I'll have that conversation. And then other people might like not want to talk about it or not open up about it or something like that. And that frustrates me because I'm like, just tell me, like, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm a big girl. Like, you
100%.
Just say what you need to say. But definitely that was something that Cam and I had to work on because he can be quite quick to flip a switch as well. And I remember when we first got together, You like fight over like the stupid shit, just random shit. And so it was something we both had to learn. It was like, take 5 minutes, separate, then come back together and talk like adults rather than yell at each other.
I know. It's like, I'm very lucky. Like, Lani wouldn't hurt a fly, right? And literally, because she'd rather save a fly than myself. So it's, I'm very lucky with that. I think if I had somebody else who had that kind of fire, I'd be fucked, to be honest. So sorry, I should go back to what you were actually saying about dealing with it. My biggest thing, I honestly think, is cutting hair. When I cut hair, I don't think about anything else, right? So and I'm just like, and that goes back to why I started cutting hair. So it was just like, that was my kind of like escape, you know what I mean? So I'm not, so it was just like, I love cooking. And I always tell people, it's like, you know, when people go, oh, I cook to like, so it's kind of like, that's my little escape.
I burn toast. I burn everything. I make bacon and eggs on the weekend. Every weekend we always have bacon and eggs, and I make that, but Cam does everything else. It's so good. It's so good. Great. That's Cam's place too, and I'm not even allowed in the kitchen when he's cooking.
So he's gone from a 10 to a 12 now. So, Lani's the same, right? I do not let Lani in the kitchen. I was like, hey, please don't come in here. Yeah, she said to me, you were last at this. She said to me yesterday, we were having dinner, and she's like, oh, that's the last 2 nights I've cooked now. And I was like, I said, the first night you heated up leftover fajitas. I was like, this night you've just put a chicken bake in the oven. I was like, don't you fucking dare say to me, you've cooked for me twice. So
you cooked more than me. That's amazing.
Seriously, the first time she ever cooked for me, right, was we just started dating, and I had an apartment in Burley, and she's like, I'll come over and cook for you and stuff like that. Reese, her brother-in-law, is he's one of my good mates now, and he said all the time, they were like, Lani, don't go over and cook. They were like, you can't cook, don't go over there, you're gonna like ruin this whole thing.
Did you have a control issue about that, being like, no, I want to cook for you because like I'm a better cook, like I know I can actually cook? Like
100%. I do it all the time. And she's thinking that she's like relieving stress off me. I was like, that is added so much more stress to me, thinking we're going to burn our house down. I was like, seriously? I know. And I was like, and then I'm just going to have to end up cooking anyway. You know what I mean? So it was...
She come to your apartment to cook for you. You're already laughing. I can't wait.
She's done these, like, in the bakery, you can get like these chicken, like wrap scroll things, right? And they're unreal. And she was like, I'll make this with some chips, blah, 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 and stuff like that, right? So for what, I don't eat salad, right? I'm the most unhealthiest guy ever.
You freak.
I fucking hate salad.
Yes.
I hate salad.
Only potato. The only veggie he eats is sweet potato, pretty much.
So I'm literally the same, right? Probably the only greens I'll eat. I'll eat spinach if they're in something, like cooked.
We would too. Yeah.
And broccoli or broccolini. Broccoli I've gone off a lot, but broccolini I can cook if it's like covered in butter and stuff like this. I'll be all right with it, right? So
it doesn't actually taste like broccoli. It tastes like fucking beautiful butter. Yeah, perfect.
Correct.
Big
right?
man style of it.
There has to, I know, seriously, right? So, and still, me and Cam are obviously 10s and body's a temple as well. So it can't be that bad, you know? She's come over, she's made like this lovely salad and stuff like that. I was like, oh, look, I don't eat salad. I was like, so she goes, oh, that's right, I have the chicken and the chips, right? Which is my diet. So she's pulled out this chicken and it was like burnt on top. So it was like, well, at least it's not raw, right? So I've cut into it and this thing's still clucking. It was like, it was so pink. And she's like, oh, I think it's, and so ever since she blamed my oven in the house, right? And I'm like, no, Lani, it's not the oven, it's just you can't cook for shit. So I think she just put the grill on instead of the oven, personally.
Oh,
so
I'd have just cooked the top. You know, when Cam first, we did long distance for a long time before he moved to Queensland, and he came up to me once. I was like, oh, I want to make this like savory mince thing that I used to have when I was a kid. And I was like, it'll be so good. It's like just a savory pasta thing. Anyways, beautiful. I swear to fucking God, the pasta was like mush and the sauce was like burnt. It was stuck to the bottom of the thing. And poor Cam sat through it and ate half of it. And then we put the rest of it in the fridge. He's like, oh, we'll eat that over the rest of the week. It didn't get eaten.
I love that. That's the best. I'll take that for lunch tomorrow. And then like, as I'm walking out of the house, I'm like that, boom, straight in the bin.
Yeah. So after that, I think he was just like, okay, I think cooking will be one of my jobs. Like, I think
I love that.
my task.
Yeah, that's on my list. We have a good agreement where it's like I'll help out with cleaning as much as possible, but Lani is like the queen of cleaning. So I'm like, cool, I'll
love
cook,
that.
you clean, perfect, right?
Wow. And you've got your beautiful new house now anyway.
I do, yeah. So there's more stuff to clean now, which is a nightmare. So I'm like, time where I normally do work, I've got to bloody clean. So
Then a housekeeper, you peasant.
I know. I said that to Lani. I said, we need somebody in here. I was like, we definitely need it. So especially with this guy who just leaves hair everywhere.
We would have, when we're in our apartment, we would have one every fortnight, maybe every month. But now Kelsey comes Tuesday morning, fucking champion, absolutely love her.
Yeah, that's sick.
Does things like the skirting boards and like the mirrors and like the shower screens and all the annoying shit. I'm like, what she does in 3 hours would take me like 8. Because I lose
100%.
interest and I do something else. I'm like, I could just work for the 3 hours that she's doing this, and I do.
Absolutely. No, I said the same thing. I was like, because I don't want our weekends to be fucking cleaning all the time. I was like, that's one thing I was 100. Like, no.
100. Anyways, we love a bloody tangent, but so we've got something here at Barber Academy. No, it's fine. And then, don't ever say sorry, please. I love it. I love just letting the conversation flow. It's good. But Crispy Club, which we love.
Crispy Club.
What? Okay, I love this because I was like, we were in the Maldives, I think, and Cam was like, why did you call it Crispy Club? I'm like, I don't know. And then I asked you.
So, Crispy Club, right? So my business partner, Jace Alpin, who is my best mate, he was our MC at the wedding. He created Crispy Club in 2022, right? So I kind of jumped into Crispy Club. I remember asking him, I was like, why the fuck did you call it Crispy Club? Like what went through your head to call it crispy, right? So he always used to just be like, that's so crispy. That's so crispy. Like, oh, that's crispy as. Like, as in, like, instead of good, it was crispy, right? And then one of his clients goes,
I love it.
He's so like, weird. Crispy is the best word ever. So we just started saying crispy, right? So Jace was an ex-professional tennis player. Mm-hmm. So same thing. We got the sport thing.
Your proximity to sports people is actually wild for someone who.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's weird. I love it.
It is. I'm so lucky. I'm very lucky, right? But he just picks it. He went, well, let's just call it Crispy Club because like club is in sports, welcome to the club and stuff like this. So it was like that tennis club where you'd be a little bit more upper class and stuff like this, but you could still have it like golf club, all of this stuff, right? So
I love it.
Crispy was his like love child. So he created a product which was made in the Sunshine Coast called the Threesome. So the Threesome was a beard oil, face moisturizer, and a shaving oil as well, right? It was the best thing I've ever smelled in my life. Like, it's incredible, this product. We've stopped doing it now because I think people are just like, they're not so much like that anymore. So we just stopped doing it. But it all started from there. So he went out on a limb. He's very, for anybody that knows Jace, he is so high-end and bougie. It's ridiculous, right? But he will tell you he's not, but he is. He was, so basically he built it off Aesop. So Aesop, his whole bathroom is full of Aesop stuff, right? So he was kind of like,
their entire brand is like,
yes.
When I think of like luxury branding, my brain actually goes there because it's like understated and their shops are incredible. It's like it's like moving into a different world when you go inside.
100%. 100%. And that was his biggest thing, right? He just wanted it to be like, wow, this is incredible. And for people, like the smell of it, honestly, I have to find one for you and I'll send it to you. It would be about 4 years out of date, but we still have people who go like, oh, I'm still using it. And I was like, oh my God, your face is going to melt off.
It's quite a long time ago, Joel. I'm going to throw it in.
Seriously. I was like, you need to get rid of that. But it was elite. It was the best product, right? So my mum used to use it in her hair and she was like, this is the best product I've ever used, right? So the company in the Sunshine Coast were just like, hey, now the minimums are just like bananas. So we stopped doing it. So we started then moving into a sea salt spray and a matte clay. We had a lot more products than that. And I was just
My
like,
husband quite literally eats your matte clay. I think
I
you
just
go
sent,
through
I
a
just
whole
sent it out
single
again
week.
for a
We
subscription.
got it. He loves that you send him beard oils.
Yeah, I know. I love that. Just a little freebie, you know.
Just a little bush beard. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's where it was kind of like, I mean, my biggest thing was I thought there was a huge market for wives and partners to just be like, I'm sick of you using my shit. And I'm also sick of looking at that on our kind of bathroom. So
Yep.
the reason why we kind of designed it the way we did was so, for example, the sea salt spray, your partner would go, oh, I can use that. And also they would go, that actually looks fine there, because as we know as lads, normally we just leave everything fucking out. So there's a Colgate there, there's gel there, this and this and this. We just wanted it to look really nice and neat there. You know what I mean? Aesthetic,
Yeah.
exactly, right? So it was...
Especially since like everyone lives in a fucking display home now.
Well, and literally that is it, right? So this isn't me slagging off products or anything like that, but I think it's very fucking, they look like they deserve to be in a barbershop. You know what I mean? So
fun story about this. My friend and I spend $29 on toothpaste because it looks good in the bathrooms. It's
100%.
called Cait paste. It's Elite. I fucking love it. It's $29. I don't fucking care. It's a tube and it's mint green and it looks really good in my green bathroom.
100%. That's what it's about.
Colgate, but I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. And that was our biggest thing. He's exactly the same, right? So his fucking skincare routine. You can tell I don't have one because of the bags under my fucking eyes, but his skincare routine is phenomenal, right? Like it shits all over most people. But his stuff whenever we go away, because he comes and teaches the NRL boys with me and stuff like that. The bathroom, he'll line up everything in the bathroom, and I always go like, fuck it, that does look cool. I would almost buy that because of how good it looks, you know what I mean? So that was the biggest reason why we did it. Like, if we can help our barbershops, brilliant. But our biggest thing was I couldn't see somebody like Cam going, I'm going to walk into a barbershop just for that product. You know what I mean? And that was the biggest thing. A lot of the time when people are going for haircuts, they're like, I've already got product. But then a week later, they're like, fuck, I've run out of product. So we just wanted to be direct to consumer, hence the subscription as well, to just be like.
So that's what I was going to talk about too, which is so fucking smart now, because my husband has underwear on subscription. He loves it. Like, it's just like, just in how people live now, we're busy. We're doing things all the time. Even people who don't have businesses are fucking busy all the time. Everyone's bloody working. And, you know, the last thing you want to think about is like getting your hair wax or getting your hair product or something like that. So the membership model is incredible.
It's so funny, right? Because that was one of the biggest things where I was like, I don't even know if people will do this. And like, we'll still offer it, but I don't know if people will do it. The amount of partners and wives who buy that for their partner is fucking bananas. Like, to just go like, hey, stop you whinging. I've put it on subscription. It's there. Like, it's done. Sweet. It'll be there. It'll just arrive every 6 weeks. It's there. Perfect. So yeah, it's so funny.
It's one of those things. It's like, you know, Cam will do like put the bins out and do the lawns and just take care of that shit so I don't have to think. But it's like, he will never buy hair product. He will never like I always have to do that for him. And that's fine. Like, that's just kind of part of how the mental balance works. But as soon as I saw that came out, I was like, fuck yes. Now I don't have to think. You know, I just get your 2 little waxes every 2 months. So good.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And like what you said, he eats it. So it's great. So
fucking eats it. That dinosaur hair, fucking hell.
Mine's starting to get like that.
I love it. It's good. It's good. Look, you've mentioned, I think we have pretty similar opinions on this, but you've mentioned you've been working like 90 plus hour weeks. And I guess, do you like, what's your opinion on hustle culture? And like, what's your opinion on doing that? And like, do you think it's just for seasons? And do you think it's bullshit? Like, tell me everything, because you're one of the hardest working people I know. So.
Okay. So, where should we start off here? This, you know, the whole like the work smarter, not harder, and stuff like that. I just think it's absolute horseshit, to be honest. Because I mean, you should be doing both, shouldn't you? Work hard and work smart. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, it's not one or the other. It's fucking both. Like, and even if you did do, I think it can be a little bit hard with the hours, right? There's one thing that fucking winds me up and it kills me, right? Is people on Instagram when they put like end of the week and then they put like 76 hours. And I was like, fuck me, what are you doing? Like, why do you need to prove that to people that you're doing 76 hours? You know what I mean? Like, even if they did 10 hours, but they worked their fucking ass off, that's brilliant. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like that's my kind of argument to it. It's like, because everyone goes, oh, you work hard. And I'm like, yeah, it's my fucking business. Of course I work hard. What do you want me to do? It's honestly, it's crazy.
I think that it's funny. I did a whole podcast episode on this of like being like, you know, the business owners who really like, that's their calling. That's what they do. Like your work blends into your life. Like it's a work-life blend. It's not a work-life balance. Like sometimes I just have to jump online. Last night I had to get some printing out. So I stayed up till 1 a.m. Like there was just stuff that you just have to do sometimes.
100%.
And like, you have to let that happen. In the same way, I also think that you should be able to build your business to a point where it doesn't need you to be in it every minute of every day. And I think that's the balance that like, or the work smarter, not harder that I believe in. It's like basically when I used to go into my salon and work, all my staff paid for everything and whatever I made, I paid myself. Like it was so good. But like you need to build a business and work towards having a business that if you're sick, if something happens like what happened to your mum.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to completely fall apart.
100%. And I think that is literally the biggest thing, because I think a lot of people are too, I don't know if scared is the correct word, but they're a little bit worried about stepping away from it or letting somebody else do it. I think that's probably the biggest thing in here. I don't
know how to.
Yeah, exactly. They don't. And it's like the trust issues there. Like I've obviously got PTSD from when I was younger in business. So that's why I have massive trust issues, but I have to, in order for us to grow, I have to pass that on to my team. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big one. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, if you don't have a team, you'll just get all the money. And it's like, I don't know if it works that easy.
I also make more money because I have a team. Could you imagine if I was doing, I've got, you know, it's even like Loz who works for me, has been with me 8 years this month, and she started coordinating my salon. Then she went on to manage my barbershop, like from the back end. And then she's coming, when I sold that, she was like, oh, I want to stay with you though. So she came with me and she does like all my money and chases all my payments and does all of that. And do you know how scary that was to let someone see my bank accounts
100%.
And like let someone pay all my bills? Now, I could not think of anything worse than the 15 hours she spends doing that every week. I think that would be the bane of my existence. And I also think 15 hours, that's like 15 clients I could see.
Yeah, well, that's it, right? And that was a big thing for me to do, right? And I know obviously this is why I believe coaching is such a fucking huge thing for business. Like nobody coached me when I was younger, right? I just fucking winged it. Like, it's crazy.
Made
like,
every mistake multiple times.
Well, and that's what I mean. It's like, I tell them, because people go like, oh, what do you think I should do here? And I was like, you know what? I did fucking do the opposite. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Like, we're probably one of the only businesses which I know, like, COVID literally kept us in business.
Wow.
Like, when everybody goes, oh, COVID was the worst thing ever. Like, COVID made us go, hey, fucking wake up and fix your business. So
I think if you didn't have that realization during that time, I think that was pretty, like, you didn't really like lean in and take it with it. Like, I got rid of my commercial office. Like, I did so many other things. I was like, why the fuck am I spending 25 grand a year on a big commercial office for all my staff when we can all just work remotely?
Yep.
But it also, like, it ruined Cam. He had a gym. He went from like 150 members to 30 and it just never recovered. Like, when I met him, he was just a shell. But I think it also made him look at like other strategies too, like going online and doing other things. And is this really 100%. What he wants to do? But for you, fixing everything in the background is pretty fucking cool.
Well, I still remember, right? One of my good mates, Peter Ben, is an accountant, and we'd had an accountant previously. This would be my best fucking advice: get a good accountant.
I'm sorry. Wait, I'm going to stop there for a second, because I feel like this year, especially, the amount of conversations I've had with new clients that are like, oh, my accountant just didn't do my BAS properly for the last 6 years. My person didn't lodge super for 2 years. I had it happen once when my bloody bookkeeper was putting the super through on the pay slips and then not logging it with the super clearinghouse when you used to have to do it that way. And I got 18 months behind. I didn't find out till a staff member left. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got so much money. This is so great. Like, let's do a new salon. Let's blah, blah, blah. Get a good fucking accountant. My man's like the most creative human ever and I love him. I love him.
Honestly, like, so I'll scroll back in time here, right? When I started jumping into the business. So obviously mum was in hospital and I just started cutting hair and I'd go in there and go like, oh, look, I did a haircut. She, again, would be so spaced out because of the drugs she was on, but she'd be crying, going like, I'm following after you and stuff like this. And I'm like, oh, not really. That's a pretty fucking bad haircut. But he was great, right? I was just like venting to my mates who had no idea I was venting. I had no idea I was venting. So it was great. I was just like fucking splurging out, which is hilarious. You know, when people go like, oh, as barbers, we cop all the shit. And I'm like, yeah, a lot of clients cop shit as well, to be honest. So I've heard some barbers say some fucked up things and it's the same as hairdressers, you know what I mean? So it works both ways. We can't just always slag off the clients. It goes both ways, right?
I actually cringe when I see that stuff. I think you've got prospects that are watching that.
I know.
And you need to be a little bit conscious of your delivery sometimes too. Like, yeah, I don't know.
What just happened to just cutting hair? What, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like just having a chat with someone. Like, it's fucking sweet. Yeah.
I don't know. I think sometimes like too, people don't realize, so social media reels go to non-followers first and social media carousels go to followers first. So if you're putting out a reel there about some pain in the ass client or something like that you've had, there's non-followers that are seeing that. That would put a bitter taste in my mouth.
100%. It's hard, right? Because a lot of the time it's clickbait as well that they want to be like, and then people come in and go, oh yeah, I got the same client, they're fucking shit and stuff like this. And I'm like, look,
hairdressers too, like you're appealing to other business owners and other professionals. You're not actually talking to the client. Where the fuck do people understand this?
100%. And I say it all the time. I said, if you think every single client that I cut, I fucking love, then it's the best thing in my life. I was like, you're dreaming. I was like, I do haircuts, and I was like, fuck me. Like, I'll be like, oh no, so-and-so's coming in next. But then it will be the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Obviously, I won't tell them that.
Yeah.
But it might just be like they do something with their hair, for example, that I'm like, oh fuck, I really wish they didn't do that, but they're so adamant about doing it, then I'll do it, right?
Yeah, you're my walking billboard. No.
And that's exactly right. That is literally it, right? And this is what I was trying to tell our students. I was like, when they're walking around, they're going like, look at your hair. And you're going like, oh, fuck, please tell me they like it. And they go, oh, yeah, sweet. You know what I mean? So, yes, good times. So I started cutting hair anyway and butchering people. Took it into mum and she was like, yeah, crying her eyes out and whatnot. She goes, I think you should enroll in a course. So RTOs, there's TAFE, which is by the government. And then we've got private RTOs, which is ourselves, right? So we are privately owned. We have to get all of the funding, blah, 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 and stuff like this. Whereas TAFE just gets it from the government. So I was like, I'm going to do a barber course. I was working full time for somebody else. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a barber course. So I went in to TAFE Ashmore, I think it was.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, I want to enroll in the barber course. And they were like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 25. And they went, you're too old. And I was like, right, okay.
Actually, for the full-time course?
But they didn't offer the full-time course.
Oh.
Yeah. So they were only offering apprenticeships. So that obviously as an apprentice, they were like, well, you'd be a mature age apprentice, no barbershops will ever take you on. So basically I'd gone in there within 15 minutes of thinking I'm going to be the next shittest hot barber to being told my fucking dream was over. So I went in to see mum and I was like, the hair dream's over, mum. I was like, all the best. I'm going back to the RTO world. I'll just go and do compliance or whatever. And yeah, I went back in there the following week then to see her, and she had put on our scope the Barber Academy. She'd created the Barber Academy Australia. She put us as a business name, ABN. She'd done their website, logo, everything. And she was just basically like, oh, well, this is my will to you. Because again, it was still touch and go at the time. So she was like, I can't give you money. So here's the business.
Oh
So
my God.
I know. So it was pretty nuts as to how we started the Barber Academy. So I actually learned through our own academy.
Oh,
Without the Barber Academy, I would not be a barber.
I love it's like when apprentices buy salons and then have to hire someone to train them in their apprenticeship and stuff, but I kind of love it. I'm like,
I
it's
know.
so good.
100%.
That's
It was.
wicked.
It's a mad story, right? It's a mad story. But I was
love it.
so lucky. The trainers there at the time were so obviously they knew what was going on with mum and whatnot, so they were awesome with me and very patient. Emily, who was working in the salon which we had, is now one of our trainers for hairdressing. So it's been a full 360 moment. We were telling our apprentices last week, I was like, fuck, I remember like Emily cut my hair and she's like, you should do barbering. And I was like, fuck that. I was like, I don't want to do barbering. It's like, I just had no interest in it. And then, yeah, it basically took off from there. So our first year, 2017, our whole year, we did 2 barber students. One of them paid for the course, Danny, he owns home-based salons. So if you've ever seen the portable salons.
Yes, we follow each other.
Yeah, so Danny and Becca, the 2 owners. Danny's fucking amazing, right? And he was so good for us when we started. Looking back now, you know what I mean? When you look back and think about how good he was, but at the time he didn't realize it. I remember him coming to me and going, hey, I've got to do a shipment order. I'm not going to be able to pay for this course. And I was like, shit, okay, what do I do as a business owner here? I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I was like, and he goes, look, what I can do, I've got these amazing cabinets, which are like barber stations. He said, they're worth $2,000. I'll give you 5 of them. And I was like, deal. That sounds like a great business idea.
Bartering.
So
I love bartering like that.
These, right? It was fucking unreal because what he'd done is he'd put a speaker inside. I love music, right? So he'd put a speaker inside of them and lights. So you could just plug in the Bluetooth and it would fucking pump music. And I was like, this is the best thing ever.
That's fucking cool. Why haven't I ever heard of this?
I know, right? So they stopped doing them and then they just went on to basins. But they were fucking amazing. They were on wheels, so you could take them anywhere. Like, it was so good. So he paid for his course like that. Yeah, honestly, they are unbelievable. Like, that would be if anybody's looking to do something, I wish I'd done that instead of paid for the plumbing in my academies. Let's just say that. So
I think my electrician was the most expensive at about 27 or 28,000 or something like that, and the plumber was not far behind.
It is fucked, seriously. It's the little stuff like that which obviously you learn along the way, don't you, to just go, what the hell do I do?
You learn once you've already signed the lease and you rip the walls down, and then you're like, oh,
yeah,
hey.
Oh shit, that's what they meant. Yeah. So, and then the other student who did it with us just could not make payments. So we qualified them and I would have made 0 from it, which was hilarious.
So funny.
And then the next year we did, I think it was 150 students.
Whoa.
The barber boom just went absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
So it was crazy times. I mean, when we had the 2 students as well, that was just before COVID. And sorry, going back to what I was saying about accounting, I had just, when mum was in hospital, I'd asked for our 0, which I had no idea what a fucking 0 account was. And they were like, my mate who was the accountant was like, hey, you need the 0 files. They're like, try and get the 0 files. So I'd gone in there with him and he was like, hey, this admin chick you've got is paying herself 110,000. Your mum's on 27,000. Also, Super hasn't been paid for 3.5 years, but hers has. So my mum basically,
that's fraud.
Seriously. So she was like, but what she had said was my mum had agreed to it all.
When she was put on drugs because she was trying to recover from pneumonia. Oh my God. That's coercion and everything. That's
seriously
horrible.
It got so messy.
Why
right?
would a business owner agree to pay an admin person 110,000 and pay themselves 27?
Seriously, it was so fucked, right? So when I got the account, and I remember Pete, who's the accountant was living in Vietnam at the time. And he was like, look, I've only got a Sunday free. It will be at 9 o'clock at night. What can you do that? So I sat down with him and he goes, you want the good news or the bad news? And I was like, here we fucking go. I was like, give me the good news. And he goes, good news is I reckon we can close everything down and you won't be liable for everything. He was like, bad news is you got about $400,000 in debt. So I was like, okay. Me and Lani had just bought an apartment together. And he was like, hey, is your name on that apartment? And I was like, nope, it's just in Lani's. And he goes, perfect. They would just take that straight off you, right?
Yeah.
So I had to then go into hospital and tell my mum this because my mum thought the business was working fine. We had left everything in this other person's kind of
people.
I know, right? So hence the trust issues.
Alert you when something's not going wrong. Like my account will literally be like, hey, your marketing spends up substantially. Like
exactly, right?
Like, oh God.
So it was crazy. Hence my trust issues and my anger issues and stuff like that. So I think it's just all catching up from inside, right?
How did you get out of it?
So basically, he said to me on that side, we did 8 hours on a call on site. I remember it being like 4 a.m. and like I was in tears because I was like, fuck, how am I supposed to tell my mum this? And he goes, look, you just tell me what you want to do. Like he goes, have a chat with your mum. Do you want to keep the business or close it? Right. So we had at the time, we had close family friends working in the business as trainers, and my mum being the person she is, and I'd like to think that I'm like this as well. I was like, I can't go and tell them like, sorry, all the best. So my accountant was like, look, if you want my opinion, I'd go in there and tell them exactly what's happened and just go, look, I will do everything I can to fix it. And then we kind of go from there, right? So I did a plan.
I feel like honesty is very freeing.
Yeah, and look, they didn't take it too well.
My staff didn't either when I had to.
Yeah, and I was like, I said, look, I'm going to have to cut hours here. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do that. But I said, so we wrote a legal document to them being like, we are telling you right now, any money will go straight back into your account, super, whatever, and stuff like this, right?
Yeah.
I think it took us three and a half years, I think it was. That's why I say COVID helped us a lot because wages obviously got covered and stuff like that.
That helped you catch up.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing. We had a grant which was going at the time, I think it was like a $10,000 grant for, they were trying to push businesses online. So we just said, you know what, fuck it, let's just bite the bullet. Nobody else was doing it. And we just went, let's try and put all of our assessments online. And it did. It was the best thing that ever happened to us. So we had the flexibility there to be able to branch out to salons and apprentices like that. We teach all of New South Wales and Queensland now because of that flexibility, which we did at the start. So it was just fucking madness. I remember it ticking off. And then I remember Pete saying to me, he's like, this is the first year I've ever paid myself in the company, right?
Yeah.
So I've got loans and everything sitting outside of it. So did mum. We managed to pay mums off 2 years ago. Basically, again, saying how lucky I am to have Lani. We put in our life savings in there to try and pay other people. You know what I mean?
Good for you.
They don't know that, obviously, but they don't need to know that. But it's there's a lot of it which has come off the back of us. My mum's put so much money into the company. You know what I mean? And I think these are the things which I know I say to you all the time. It's like, these are the things which people know when they want to open up a business. It's like, hey, you know what? Like what you were saying about the hard work. It's like, well, if I didn't work hard, like we would have been fucked. I was working basically 2 full-time jobs as well as trying to run the academy at that time. And my paycheck was just going straight in to the academy.
Yeah.
So
I think
it was crazy.
It's a funny thing. Like, I firmly believe, like, you've got to, like, no matter what season of life you're in, if you go into business, you have to give it like a good 3-4 years of like really head down, butt up, doing the work,
100%.
being coached, being mentored, learning, making mistakes, all the things. And then even with that, like, some people it takes them 20 years, some people it takes them 10 years. Like, you know, there's things that can expedite that process, obviously, but it's like, even we still have seasons. Like, I had to let someone go, you know, about a year ago as well. And it was just this season of just like, fuck, I'm going to have to do the hard thing. Right now we're in a growth phase. And I know, you know, that's fucking hard and expensive and tiring. Like, so the seasons where you still have to just go balls to the wall with it and you don't just get to sit back and enjoy. I mean, I did a seminar at Salon Lane last week on Monday, and like there was this beautiful young barber in there. Absolutely loved him. He's like, when do you get to just like switch off? And I was like, you don't, brother.
I know.
I don't know what to tell you. This will consume every piece of you forever.
That's the hardest thing, right? And this is literally it. Like, I know we are identical about this.
Yeah.
And it's like the personal side of it, like the actual, like, take away all of the business stuff, which we do and stuff like that, and the actual time we get outside of business. That's what I think is the hardest. Because like what I said to you about my circle and stuff like that, like I've lost mates. I've lost plenty of mates through this. You know what I mean?
That was one of my questions was, you speak about your circle getting smaller, it's good.
It's that's the thing. It's just like, because either a lot of the time they won't appreciate what you do. They'll think you're being rude. Sometimes when you can't text back, for example, or whatnot, they're like, oh, the fucking prick thinks he's too big shot now.
Because you just need a day on the couch, like, or you just need some time out, or you just don't have anything left in your social capita.
100%. Like the best thing I ever say is like on an iPhone when you can put do not disturb. Like that is my fucking best, mate. Like it's, again, probably not the best thing for business.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
At 9 a.m. I don't.
Literally. And I think that to me has been the hardest thing. I'm a very social person, and you do have to give up a lot of it. Like, and I don't give a shit what people say. Like, oh no, you can still have a social life and stuff like this. This is fact, but I say it to Lani a lot. I'm like, I wonder what my life would be like if I clocked in at 9 and finished at 5, Monday to Friday. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if I would be a better person. I wonder if like I would be a lot happier. I wonder if I wouldn't have the anger issues. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if me and Lani would have a kid by now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I think it's like that's the fucked up thing that people don't say in business. You know what I mean? They'll just go like, oh, just make sure you got a nice work-life balance. Like, fucking hell. It's like, seriously.
When does that happen? I'm 17 years into business now, and when does that happen? Like,
exactly. Exactly.
I think it's really funny too, like, I don't know many people that have all the same friends from school or things like that. I actually find that quite weird. I'm like, have you ever evolved or ever done anything
100%.
better or ever moved or ever whatever? Like, for me personally, one of the best things I ever did was move out of my hometown. I think I was longing to go for years. I was held there by bricks and mortar. That was what Rona did for me. It just shoved me. It just like, go. Your dog's died. You've got nothing holding you. You're not in a relationship. Like, get out. But I also think like the friends that I have now and the people I have in my life now, like I think even me and you, when we text sometimes I'm like 2 days later, I'm like, I'm so sorry, I just got caught up. And you're like, it's all good. Like, don't worry about it.
And I ignore it all the time. Yeah. That's what everyone says. They're like, because obviously, like, people have lives, and that's the thing. It's like, fuck. Like, I know you're not being a prick, you know what I mean? Otherwise, you just tell me to fuck off, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I say that to people. Like, if I don't want to speak to someone, I just feel like, hey, stop texting me. Like, in the nicest way possible.
100%. But I also think every single person we have in like mine and Cam's friend circle, and probably the same for you, they're fucking awesome. They're hot and cool and fun and hardworking, and they get it. And like there's just no complicated friendships or relationships anymore. Like everyone's just so running at their own race, running in their own pace, and it's fucking good.
100%.
And all these other people have kind of slid into the background,
that is it. They've literally like, it was so funny. We got married last July, and Lani, the biggest stress for her was like, how the fuck do we keep your list under 100? You know what I mean? Like, it was like, because her circle is tight. Like, she's got a twin, so they're besties.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and she's got another sister as well. She's really close to her mum. She's close to my mum. So it's like her circle is like, that's it. She goes, I've never got any friends and stuff like that. So to be honest, it's probably a good thing for me, because she obviously gives me more attention, which I need to take my mind off stuff. So I'd probably be fucked if she had mates. I'd have to stay in the house more. So yeah, it's just funny how that side of it, and I do classify that as the business side, because I think if I didn't have that, or even just the people going like, it's so weird. One of my mates said it to me the other day. He's not this type of guy, which I think hit home more. And he was just like, fucking hell, you work hard. And he goes, you know what? It must be nice, like opening the keys to the house now and being like, oh yeah, this is what I fucking worked my ass off for. And I was like, I almost like cried. I went, fucking hell, this is so weird coming from you. Like, he's fucking like tradie. Like, if you see him, he's just fucking all this, all that. And it's like, it was just funny that, and he just sent a random text to me. And I was like, it's amazing how much that hits home. You know what I mean? I've tried to make a big effort about it, doing it for voice notes. Like, there's you know what I'm like, my voice notes. I fucking love a voice note, but it's just people on Instagram. You know what I mean? You see, you see some people on Instagram, and you're like, they deserve a fucking like a pep talk. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'll just send them a note and go like, hey man, like, you may not hear this from a lot of people, but like, you're fucking doing amazing stuff. Like, I just want you to appreciate, like, you need to.
I'm watching in the background. I'm cheering.
100%. 100%.
It's so fucking cool. I know that Cam and I had that feeling when we moved in here as well. We moved in last June, I think. Yep. And, you know, like, I bought my apartment on my own. We spent time renovating it. It was great, whatever. But like, we sold 2 cars to buy this. We literally sold everything that wasn't bolted down to literally go ahead and do this. And we both, I flew 58 times last year, and he was working 2 jobs. And like, we just worked our fucking asses off, and just like turning the key and being like, hello, I live here, is the fucking feeling. You're like, we did this.
100%. But people don't realize that, Caitlin. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, this is what pissed me off. Like, Lani's really like, I don't want people to know we bought a place and stuff like this. And I was like, well,
Cam's more fucking about that stuff, you're more quiet about that stuff, not me.
Yeah. I'm like, I just said to her, I was like, look, if they need to argue, I fucking flew 115 times last year.
Fucking astronomical.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like, and that's the thing when people say it, they're like, oh, geez, don't you get sick of it? And I was like, I fucking hate it. And you know, I've told you before, I was like, I have no interest in people. Oh, it must be nice going on holidays. I'm like, if you think I'm on holidays, you're fucking dreaming. I was like, I did
hotel, salon, hotel, airport, home.
100%, right? It's so funny.
And I order room service because I'm an antisocial bitch when I do things like that. I'm like, I don't even want to be around people. Like,
exactly, right? You're so like frozen from the day, like, so like, you're just like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? It's funny. I remember I did all the training for Just Cuts, and I signed a stupid fucking contract with them to do it. I'm just overcommitted, right? But I said to Lani, I was like, this will get us out of the shit here. So I did it. And I remember sending a video to Susie. So Susie O'Brien, she's doing the Educator Academy with me. She's fucking amazing. She's been one of the biggest ones for our business to just my soundboard, right? And I sent her a video. I was in Sydney. Is it Sydney Airport Motel or Sydney Airport Hotel, right? So this has been on like recordings of like the worst fucking motel in the world, right? And I was sitting on my bed. This thing's fucking horrendous. Like, when a plane comes over, the fucking place is shaking. But in the room is a single bed. The toilet's on the end of the bed, and then there's a basin there, right? And people go, oh, it must be so nice. Like, oh, you're living it. And I sent her a video, right, of it. And the TV was like, it was just my iPad.
I was going to say, was it old box?
There's like literally no TV in there. So like, I had my iPad up in there. I think I was watching like Married at First Sight or something.
Perfect. Perfect. Tune your brain out TV.
Exactly, right? And I was eating Coles brand chips, like as in like crisps, I call it, but Coles chips, which were chicken flavored. But their end by date was today, and they were 80 cents. And I was eating them like this. That was my fucking dinner. And I sent her a video going like, holy fuck, how good's it being an educator? And I was just like, these fucking idiots thinking I'm staying at like the Hilton and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, it's brilliant. I was like, I was going to start doing that. I was going to start doing a little bit of a series being like, cool, I'll break down exactly the costs of what it is here, because everybody says with the NRL, oh, it's all funded. Like, they must pay for your flights. Nah, nope, I pay for that.
And it's such a weird thing too, isn't it? Because it's like, sometimes like I'll be away Sunday, Monday, maybe come home Tuesday, then Cam works till 9 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, because he teaches at TAFE in the evening. And then it's like Thursday I'll have something else on. And it's like sometimes we literally don't see each other other than like a good morning and a good night for like 2 weeks.
100%.
And it's like people don't see that too. And then, yeah, it's like the other thing that I think I did a post about this and it went off, that it's like people also don't see, I don't just show up on the day and wing it. Like I really care about the
exactly.
I put forward. So it's like 20 hours of prep before I get there. Plus I like to have like printed books and like bring some things and like make it a really nice experience. And I'm like there's so much time in the lead up to it. I'm not just charging you for the day that I'm there. I'm charging you for everything else. I'm charging you for being away from my family for 2 nights. I'm charging you for like everything else. It's not glamorous.
100%.
I love it, but it's not glam.
Yeah. And that's exactly right. And this is the thing where it's like, this is the biggest thing we want to do about the Educators Academy, is to kind of be like, we want to be open and honest with people. It's not saying that education is shit or anything like this, because I've heard people say that apparently this is what we're trying to do. And I was like, no, this is not it at all. Like our biggest thing is getting the right people in the right rooms. It's telling people exactly how it is and learning from our lessons as well. Like what you said, like Susie is elite at the lead up time. So that's what I was telling people. It's like, so just preparing for that education session, like what you said, like nobody sees that. Like nobody sees you in Officeworks printing off fucking booklets and stuff like this. And it's like, fucking hell, you charged $1,000 for a one-on-one. And I was like, yeah, I'll probably make $200.
Yep.
And it's
if I calculate how many hours I spent versus how much I actually come out the other end with, I'm getting paid about $20 an hour.
Exactly.
Shut up.
And it's like, and that's the thing that we're trying to put into the academy, to kind of is actually pricing for yourself and working out exactly what you are pricing. Like this is always the thing I learned from TAFE, which fucking hurt me. But when I taught at TAFE, I was on $96 an hour, right? And I was like, fuck yeah, this is sick. I'm like, and my mum said to me, she was like,
what?
My mum was like, so what are you doing for $96 an hour? And I was like, I just teach. It's fucking brilliant. And she was like, just to assess. And I was like, oh yeah. And she was like, just to create this. I was like, oh yeah. So all of this stuff I was doing in my own time, right? So it worked out to be $21 an hour I was on. So I soon quit TAFE. But it was just funny that it just needed some, and this is why I love coaching, because it just needed another opinion or somebody else to go, hey, have you thought about bum, 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 bum? And they go, oh,
first thing I make them do, how much do you work in your business? How much do you work on your business? What is your take home pay? Every single week, month, whatever. And then they're like, oh, I just worked out, I get paid $16.50 an hour. I'm like, that hurts, doesn't it?
I know.
You know, like, and it's like, I do that as like, it's exposing and it's shocking and it's meant to hurt your feelings a little bit so that you're like, okay, I need to do something about this.
Absolutely. It needs the eye opener, right? And this is what I think is the biggest thing in our industry. The people who are trying to do the eye openers are being slandered for, they're like, oh, just fucking stay in your lane, or just, it's the silent treatment, right? It's like, don't say that. You may piss somebody off. Well, we have to start doing that. Otherwise, it's just going to be my mum is telling me stuff that happened fucking when she was 16 in the salon. It's still happening now. Like, how the fuck does that happen?
Yeah.
Like, it's honestly, it's crazy.
I mean, Australia's got this, like, of all the countries I've traveled to, Australia has the worst tall poppy syndrome I've ever experienced, ever.
Yeah.
My friend in America, absolutely killing it, profited like $10 million last year. And I was like, you are a fucking sick king. And he's like, yeah, I love it. Like, everybody over here loves it. I was like, if you did that here and you shared that, people would slander you, spread rumors about you, be horrible to you, contact you. Like, it would just, like, it's just a different world. So it's that weird balance, I guess, of like being forthright and putting it out there and like also learning to like not care about the noise.
Well, so I struggle with that massively, right?
Everyone does.
Because I message you saying it.
I love it.
It's hard, right? Because I want to say I'm a fucking hard ass, but I am the biggest softie ever, right? And all I want to do is help everyone. And I know I can't do that, but I get that from mum. And I try and make sure that my mum doesn't do that. And still, we both fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing. It's like, when I hear the stuff that's being said about us and whatnot and stuff like that, and like what I said to you, I was like, I do feel like just going, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just shut everyone off then. Good luck with your industry. All the best. Like, we're just going to stay in this lane and do that. Yeah. But every part of me, like, it's so hard. Like, I know people have said stuff to people to get back to me.
Yeah.
Like the Educators Academy was the fucking prime one. It's just like, no, we're literally just trying to help.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is too, and I mean, like, somebody once said to me, and I won't name them, but somebody once said to me, they're like, oh, but so many people like hate on you and so many people leave mean comments. I was like, look at the person who commented that.
Yeah, I know.
Pleb, who works 10 hours a week, who sits at fucking home doing nothing. Am I worried about, I'm not butthurt by somebody like that. If someone like you had something to say about me, I might care because I actually look up to you. But like, I always look at those things. I was like, all the people who are supportive are like cool and awesome and doing awesome shit and in their lane and thriving and all the things. And all the people who are hating are the people who are jealous and they're sitting there wallowing in their own life because nobody ever hated on anyone doing worse than them.
Yeah.
Ever.
Absolutely.
Ever. I just try to remember that. I'm like, I'm not hating on someone who's unemployed or homeless or, something like I would never hate on someone like that. I would never hate on someone who's in like the first few years of doing their business because that's not me. But like, I wouldn't hate on anyone anyway, but like I would never hate on someone who's doing better than me either. But like, I can see why people do because like, why do they have that?
Yeah.
How did they
100%.
do that? It's crazy.
I get that tattooed on me. I love that. I'm gonna get tattooed right there. So when I can I can just look at it and be like, yeah, that's it.
No one ever hated on anyone doing better than them. Yeah, and anyone doing the worse than them. Look, you've been educating people in this industry for a decade now, and obviously you're right up in it, right up in the grill of it. But what's the biggest thing you see like new hairdressers and barbers getting wrong? And I don't mean like technically maybe, but more about the career itself or the business stuff.
Where do I start here? No, I think the biggest thing at the moment is pricing. I think there's I think I'm seeing a lot of videos at the moment and I'm seeing a lot of people who probably shouldn't be saying stuff about pricing saying it, you know what I mean? That's my biggest one. It's kind of the same as myself. It's like somebody like myself going like, you should be charging $100. Like, who the fuck am I to say that? Like, I don't own a shop. Yeah. Like, I work in shops. And don't get me wrong, if somebody comes to me going, hey, do you think I should put the price up? I'll be completely honest with them. I just changed my prices for haircuts. And I had a lot of people being like, oh, fucking fuel shortage and you're fucking charging this and that. And I was like, oh, so I should just go without fuel in my car then, should I? Like, what the fuck do you mean by saying that? You know what I mean? And it's like...
Wow, that's deflecting, isn't it? That's holding a fucking mirror like that.
Seriously, I was just like, what the fuck is wrong? But that is what's wrong. It's that kind of argument. It's... Instead of just going like... I worked it out. I think I spent 40,000 on PD last year. In the last 12 months, you know what I mean? I say 40,000. A lot of that is covered because I give up my space and whatnot for that, right? But it would have been retail value 40,000, right? Yeah. So I'm kind of saying to people, I was like, well, is the barber you're currently going to doing that? And they're like, oh, nah. And I'm like, well, that's why my fucking price is going up. And it's the same as education. Like, same as our courses. Our course started off $7,000 and now it's $12,995. And
love that. I started at $275 a week now, and now I'm like up around the $480 or something like that.
And it's still too cheap. It's still too cheap. You know what I mean? Like it is. Yeah. If you, I know full well we could sit here right now and spend the next 5 to 10 minutes justifying why we could double that price. Like, and that's the thing which is fucked, right? And this is my hardest thing with pricing.
I think the hard thing too, and I feel like this is fairly well industry specific, is having to justify our prices to clients. I've got a friend who's a plumber. I fucking love the man. But we needed him to do a job the next day really early, and he just billed me $298 and he was here for about 20 minutes. And I didn't question it because he got up early, he moved someone else, he made it work, whatever, and it needed to be done. And like, I don't think, like, why don't people question everyone then? Especially like shop owners. Like, they've got literally the expenses of a shop. My salon, just the shop, the outgoings, the rent, the everything that I had to pay was over $120,000 just for the actual premises itself. That's not including running costs. And then you're telling me that someone who does something else that doesn't have those costs can charge more than me. You're not going to question them. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
It's so weird, right? Because you know the worst thing about that as well? both of us would have a Cert 3. It's not as if they're fucking like university degree. It's the same fucking qualification. Like I've argued this so much. I can't remember her name now who owns Circles.
Charlene.
Charlene, right?
What a queen of a woman. I fucking love her beautiful polarizing personality. I'm like, you're a fucking queen. It's the best.
It's fucking brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So she put a post up about prices and I commented underneath being like, I just got charged $200 for a fucking Sparky to come out and look at my job and go, yeah, I can do it. Imagine us doing that as fucking hairdressers or barbers. Like we would get absolutely slaughtered. And I just seen somebody else, she put another one on there about a dog getting a haircut. Did you see the arguments about people going, oh yeah, but we've got a bigger skill level because we have to deal with them kicking and screaming and stuff like that? And I was like, fucking hell. I was like, okay, we are fucked. I'm like, that's when I read stuff like that, I go like, holy shit, like we are actually, there is so much. Like, I don't actually know how we get out of that. I know, obviously, that's our biggest thing, I think. And it does
poor little me, the poor little me thing. Poor little me, my life's so hard.
Exactly. Instead of just going like, I do fucking brilliant work, that's why I charge that. If you need this is what I say to my clients. I was like, hey, like, I have a cheaper option for you. I was like, if you let me know your price bracket, I can tell you exactly who to go to. You know what I mean? And then they still go, I'll just book in.
I'm like, know the difference between a budget and bargaining. I'm okay if you come to me and you have a budget. That's why we have coaching options too. We've got group right through to one form. We've got different things that we can offer you. If you don't want to do that one because you can't afford it, that's okay. We've got this one here that'll meet your budget. When you're ready, you can upgrade. And it's the same thing in salons. It's like, it's really great if you can have those tiered pricing options as well. Or don't just give the client more services and bargain your prices down. Change the services so you meet their budget.
100%. Like 100%. That is, it's such an old school sales tactic. That is, isn't it? It's just like, oh, but we're doing all of this. Like they don't give a fuck. It's because they needed that budget. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like,
you it's a tricky value me enough to want my services and want me to look after you, but then you want to sit here and bargain with me. That is the unhealthiest energy exchange I've ever heard of.
100%. It's, yeah, look at that. I mean, I'm going to stick to it. I think it is pricing. We get a lot of students now who are finishing the course, especially in barbering, and they're like, how much do you charge? Like, as in they're asking me, and I'm going like, I mean this in a very respectful way now. I've just taught you for 12 months. And you're just going to charge more than me? Or what's the goal here? And I said, I mean this in the nicest way possible. Like, I've done a lot of education, like, and I constantly, like, still actively do education throughout the week, as in like learning from people. Like, I love it because it takes my mind off stuff. That's another thing which I was doing. And I'm saying to them, I was like, hey, like, you're going to struggle to go out there and charge like what I charge. I said, purely because you just need to get some reps in. I was like, even the hourly rate, I should be getting paid this much. And I was like, okay, cool. I know how much my rent is, and I know their rent is double that price. Yep. I said, so when you're saying I'm making I make them $4,000 a week. No, you don't. You don't make them $4,000 a week. Like 4,000 comes in from your haircuts, yeah, but their rent's fucking 20 grand a week, for example. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fucking funny because, like what you said, right? I would love to, in the academy, I would fucking love to do this. And I think I am going to do it. Just put up all of our costs. So when somebody says, how much is that? Just go, well, that's my rent per week. That's what I got to pay electricity. Imagine that on the wall and just being like, don't fucking argue my prices. That's it right there. That's why you be completely open and honest to people and just go, that's without me taking a wage. That's without any of our staff. That's what I have to cover. Yeah. And then they go, Cait, I got to tell you a quick story, right? Because this is funny about this. I used to have a trainer who works for me, and we've gone back and forth about pay and whatnot, right? I like to think we pay our staff very well. We always try and look after them, right?
Yeah, so do I.
It's a win-win, right?
I agree.
So we had a trainer who came in for a meeting with me, and my mum was like, well, look, I know you make this much, right? And I was like, I said, like, how do you know that? And she goes, well, I've got 10 students, all of them paid 10,000. She's like, well, that's how much you made. And I was like, right, okay. I said, just to let you know, for me to break even, I need 10 students in a class to cover your wage, rent, and everything. That's not me and Mum taking any money, whatever. And she's like, no, you're charging them 10,000. You get 10,000. And I was like, fuck me. If that was it, that'd be the best thing ever. We paid $3,000 on kits, right? Alone. So take that stress off.
10% GST.
Oh, seriously.
Wasn't your truck tax? There's like $2,000 out of everyone gone immediately just without that.
It was honestly. So I've tried to be open and honest with our staff, and we do go through a lot of numbers with them because they can see it from the outside and go, fucking hell, you charge $12,995. And I was like, hey, if you want me to be honest, like I still don't pay myself. But like you want to be that honest? Like, you know, when you guys complain about yourself getting paid, like I would fucking do a lot of terrible things to get that money, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's my hardest one. And I don't want to be that person, Caitlin, you know what I mean? I want to be like, well, I don't get paid, so don't fucking whinge.
Yeah.
But it's like, sometimes it can come across and go like, I think there needs to be that open honesty as well, I think. And that's what I think maybe we struggle with as business owners, you know what I mean?
I think it's funny too, like, you know, I look back to when I went through my apprenticeship and even the place I worked after that, that I ended up buying, like they never spoke about that stuff. You just had KPIs and that was it. And like, you know, the two bosses that I worked for at the start, one of them wasn't a hairdresser and they were just slave drivers, like sell more, blah, 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 blah. And you kind of get that bitter taste in your mouth. But I remember sitting down with my staff, and this is something that I teach my clients to do as well. It's like, I sat down and I was like, cool, we're going to go through all the costs today because guys, we've been really lacking with retail. We haven't been hitting KPIs. Let's sit down and go through everything. So be like, what do you think my rent's worth? And they're like, oh, my house is like $500. So we'll put $500. And it was like, you know, $8,000 a month. And just like going through the rates and going through everything. And I was like, what do you think it is? And then I'll tell you what it is. And we'd go through everything. And then at the end, I was like, so this is how much I actually cost. And they were like, oh, and I was like, yeah, so this is what you're costing me if you're not hitting the KPI, and this is what you're making me if you are hitting the KPI. Like, and it was like this eye-opening thing. And I was like, I have nothing to be hiding this about. It's such an old school way of thinking.
That is it. It's the hiding. That's what I fucking think. It's like, they go like, oh, it's all right for you. It's all right for you. I'm like, fucking hell, you have no idea. Like, you actually have no idea. And it annoys me a little bit. We used to have a couple of staff members who I know it would piss off Lani, that they'd be like, oh, it's all right for you guys. Like, you can just work when you want. And Lani's like, work when we want. She's like, I fucking started at 6 a.m. and I didn't finish until fucking 1 a.m. last night. If you want to say work when you want, like, and like Lani is fucking harmless, right? But she was just like, don't you dare ever say that. She was like, because God, like, realistically, if we wanted to, we could get rid of everyone and we could run the company. You know, like I could teach barbering, Mum could teach hairdressing. We could just go from there, right? But we don't. So it's, it's so fucked.
I remember I had a really cheeky staff member. She didn't last very long, but it was like Christmas week. We'd had a really great week. I wasn't on the floor at this stage, but I was there helping them with just checking out and just helping everybody to run the week because coaching gets dead around Christmas time, obviously, with our clients, crazy busy. And she said to me, she's like, oh, all this money, that's what's paying for your new car? Because I just bought my Camaro like 12 months earlier. I was like, I paid $34,000 in wages yesterday for the week. I was like, and you want to sit here and talk to me about what that pays for? And she was like, oh, I was like, we have 28 staff, babe, plus super, plus holidays, plus everything else. And I was like, and you're literally whinging to me. And she was like, oh, and she did it in front of a client. I think she must have seen like steam coming out of my ears. But I said it in front of her, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'll just tell you. Like,
yeah, exactly. The car thing's always the funniest. I love that. Like when people go, oh, you just bought a new car. And I was like, yeah, I got told by the accountant I had to, because I don't have the money to pay off tax. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so fucking funny because they're like, oh, new car. And I was like,
the other thing with that was too, I drove a old Lancer. That was the car that I upgraded from that I traded in for $2,500. So like, you can imagine what kind of shape it was It was like, this was just something I did for myself. Like,
Yeah,
fucking
100%.
fuck off.
I know. It's so funny. It's like, yes. Oh God. Good times.
And also,
The joys
I
of
like,
owning a business.
and I also think too, like, if you're like, obviously this doesn't happen for a while, but if you're not honestly working towards, $120,000 to $150,000 a year in profit in wages at very minimum, why the fuck would you be in business? Why would you carry all that? Why would you do all that? Like, if there's not, I know some people are like, oh no, I'm fine earning this. I'm like, I understand that you might be fine earning 50, 60, 70 grand. That's fine. Like, that's fine for you. But there's so much else that goes on. We're married to our jobs. You're managing all these other people. How do you feel that your staff are getting paid more than you?
I know that's a hard thing. Like, that is a very hard thing as well. I know when you put the post up and I was like, it's true. It's so true because like, I get bad like resentment and stuff like that. Sometimes if a staff member says something and I'm like, I feel like replying back to them going like, hey, did your wages get paid this week? Mine didn't. Like, you know what I mean? Which is fucked. I know I shouldn't be like that. And obviously I don't say that, but no, I should say that.
Don't let the intrusive thoughts win.
No, I know. I'm like, but don't say that. But like what I was saying, I was like, I wonder, but I could just go and get a job for that much. You know what I mean? Like, and without the stress. Like I remember working for TAFE. I was like, I mean, I didn't like it because I wanted to change stuff and they didn't want that. They were like, hey, just stay in your fucking lane and do the job. Like, and I'm like, oh, we could do this, we could do that, and they're like, no, shut up, sit in the corner, do your fucking job, and then that's it. So that's why I ended up leaving. But it's just funny. It's not for everyone, right? It's definitely not for everyone. But like what you said,
not for the weak, definitely not for the faint-hearted. You've got to be very thick-skinned to survive, especially in small business. I think it's a lot.
But do you find that's the thing though, Caitlin? Like, and this is what. So obviously we've got a couple of academies and stuff like that, and people go like, "Oh yeah, your business is huge and stuff like this," and I'm like, "No, it's not. It's a small business." Like they're seeing people on fucking TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, and I'm like, they're global businesses. They ain't a fucking small business. Like, there's a reason why he's out on a yacht. You know what I mean? It's like we're talking different fucking ballparks here, but they just put business owner under the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like all of our two students do it because they're all high school kids. They go, "Oh, do you own this business?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Fuck, you must be loaded." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But gotta come do what I do for a week. Yeah.
Seriously, I was like, yeah, man.
Look, I think there's like two sides to that too, isn't it? Because it's like, okay, cool, it could be really inspirational for people, but also then the contrast that is some people are so delusional about what actually goes on. Our goal is, I don't know what you guys have got family goals wise, but our goal is eventually that Cam can go part-time and I can cut down a little bit too. So we can enjoy having a family. We don't have to be like, married to the business and all of 100%. Those things. But it's not even really that much about money for us as much as it's about time and flexibility and those sorts of things too. But you don't just get to step into a business and it just works. You've got to build it up and do that and do all the hard things and make all the sacrifices. And then hopefully you get to enjoy the fruits of that at the end.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Doesn't help when your accountant puts you $400,000 in the hole though, Gaz.
No, but
that's quite a setback.
I tell you what, though, I learned so many lessons from it. Like so many lessons from it.
I think that it's one of those things, isn't it? Like I talk about this so openly that like I got myself in like close to 300 grand in debt when I was 25, just business debt, all sorts of things. And all of a sudden just kind of like built up on me. And then I was like, ugh. And I worked so hard to pay it off, and that paying off really changed me as well. But also like I'll never put myself like back into something like that. Like that was just money on like there was nothing securing that. It's not like I had a house. I owned my car, but like it's not like I had anything on that. Whereas now it's like I'm okay with debt as long as there's like a house in it or there's like there's something else.
100%. And that's what I tell people because they're like, oh fucking hell, you bet you have a big mortgage. And I was like, yeah, but that's what I worked my ass off for. Like that, I want that debt, not a credit card debt because I bought a fucking Louis Vuitton bag. You know what I mean? It's like that's the. I mean, yeah, it's fun.
It's so good. Look, thank you so much. This has been fucking epic. We've yapped our asses off, which I knew we would, which I love. But if there's one piece of advice you could give to younger Gaz or anyone else that's up and coming, or one hot take or something, what would it be?
I was very lucky when I was younger to have kind of, I call them mentors now, but I think it was, I didn't used to hang out around with too many people my own age. It was kind of older people and whatnot. I spent my siblings as well were all older than me. So I think I got very lucky with my circle when I was younger, like especially when starting business as well. There was a lot of people who just gave me like little tips and tricks and stuff like that, which kind of helped me along the way. Probably my biggest thing would be obviously if I could go back in time, would be to see the accounts probably from day one. That would have been probably the biggest thing, and to actually own it. I think I was so caught up. Yeah, I was just so caught up in just being like a business owner, and I was like, fucking, this will be great. I'll be retired by the time I'm 30. That it was just, I literally had that in my mind, that it was just going to be like, I'm rolling in it. I'm like, this is fucking brilliant. It's just everything that I just said, everything I've just said about business owners, that's what I thought of myself. I was like, I said, I've got a business, so I'll just be fucking, money will just come in. It's sick. And I think just probably look after myself a little bit more, I think, in regards to, I put so much time and effort and money into the business where maybe there were times where I should have just gone, nah, I just should not do that. I have a terrible habit of not saying no, like fucking terrible. Like and I won't say no to people, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's fucking so bad. Yeah. And I think that's why I would like to think we do have a good rep in the industry and whatnot. It's because we don't say no to people.
Really?
Which is good and bad, right? So I think that would probably be the thing. Probably be able to tell myself or be able to say no a lot more times and just be like, no, actually that doesn't make sense.
Love it.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the biggest thing for me. And yeah, then the mentors, like I think having that person you can bounce stuff off, like, is fucking so, like, it's
a community of people who are doing it.
100%. And then sometimes it's not even business, you know what I mean? Okay, like, it's like, it may just be like, fucking hell. Yeah. How's your business going? And then it's like, they'll go, fucking hell, it's been tough, because you think you are the only one who's having a bad time. Like, all the time, you know what I mean? It's like, and every single person I've spoken to this quarter has gone, fucking hell, that's tough. And it's yeah.
I just put a post out about this, just being like, here's some of the shit things that have happened in my life of late, because everyone thinks I've got it all together all the time. Maybe they don't, I don't know. But I was just like, here's just some of the random things that have really like pissed me off in the last few months, or like really like shaken things up for me. And all these people are like, oh my God, this is so good. I was like, do you know why? Because with that comparison culture of always looking at what everybody's doing, what everyone's putting out there. Don't get me wrong, my life's great. I'm fucking happy as fuck. Like, I love my life. I love my business, love my clients, all that. But like, there are other things that do happen in my life that we just don't talk about enough. And here they are.
100%.
Normal. Like,
yeah, exactly. And it's like, I think it's all right if like that happens. You know what I mean? Same as business. Like, I love that you were saying like the seasons. Like, I love that saying, because it's like, you could be, and I say it to mum, I was like, holy shit, if we did a month like this every month of the year, like, fucking hell. Yeah. And then the next month it's fucking dismal, and you go like, oh no, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And like, yeah, that's right. A business. I forgot we owned a business. So it's like, sorry, just one more tip. I think it would be to actually have that kind of I never understood cash flow, right? So cash flow to me as a business was just like
financial literacy. That's like porn to me, Gareth.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's like, I think that was one of my biggest things, just knowing like, hey, not every month is going to be like this. Yeah, I think that was a big, big, big one for me.
Inconsistency, hey, especially 100%. Like in small business, exactly like you said, like you can have a couple of students leave, you can have something change over, you can have a whopper of an expense come in. Like, it's just 100%. I love that. And I guess that's one of the huge things too, when we were talking earlier about your staff are like, oh, you students or whatever, like, oh my God, like, you're so rich, blah, blah, blah. It's like, so you pay every week.
I know.
That must be nice.
Exactly. Just getting paid in general must be nice.
I love that so much. If you want to follow Gareth's journey, you can find him on socials at Gareth Philpott. And if you're in the hair or the barber space as well, or you're an educator wanting to level up, there's the Hair and Barber Academy, Crispy Club, the Educator Academy. Is there anything else you wanted to add in there?
No, I think that's it. As I what they say, my thing at the moment is whether to blend the Hair and Barber Academy together. That's my biggest business decision at the moment. So
big. They're kind of like, hair and barbering is like, they're kind of the same thing, but they kind of not.
I know that's the thing, right? It's like,
they're so amazing. Parallel in so many ways, but then there's like other things that don't kind of interconnect, which is, I don't know. I
know. Too hard. Too hard. It doesn't need to be done right now.
100%. Thank you so much, King. This has been so good. I can't believe we're up for 2 hours. If anyone's still listening in,
no, good luck. All the gems are at the end. That's what they always say. All the gems are at the end.
100%. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for having me. And I look forward to catching up soon.